Welcome back to the Quantum Health Connection podcast. My name is Heather Crimson, and I'm here with my beautiful, amazing co host, Vanessa Baldwin. And we are so grateful for your support, all of you listeners who've been with us either from the beginning or just recently joined. This episode is going to be a recap of 2024. We're already in the middle of December. It is wild. It's been a crazy ride, a very, very good ride, Vanessa, right? We've had such a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, we really enjoyed the podcast. Podcast is honestly, it's one of my favorite things that I do in my life. I really love coming here every week, and whether it's me and Heather, with me and you, Heather, I really love that. Like those episodes where we're just chatting and sharing our knowledge, and hopefully inspiring you guys, or whether we meet these like incredible guests. We've had really some recordings that we haven't shared yet that will come out in 2025 that I'm so thrilled to share with you guys. So it's just so much fun. And I really love doing the podcast with you, Heather. And I love
Thank
having you as my co.
you. Feelings are so mutual, so mutual. It's been, I
So
mean, we have a lot of fun, you guys. So we talk all week. It's not just that we show up here as colleagues, we're friends, and you can probably feel that energy that, there's just so much love we have for each other. And that's what I think quantum is really all about. Speaking of quantum, right? You can get lost in the science and you can get lost in the rigidity and it's really hard to sometimes find your way because there's so much information. So our goal in this podcast is to be able to make it accessible, digestible, user friendly, and most of all nourishing for you. So if you've gotten any benefit out of our podcast, whether you're a longtime listener or newly joining us, please go ahead and give us up to a 5-star review so we can start to reach more people and people can see that we're doing good work and it's all from the heart, right? Because I believe that love is the most potent and powerful healing force. Yes, sunrise is really important and I rarely miss one because it just feels so good. And my health is not like super 100%, like perfect, so I do have to really be diligent, so sunrise does help me. But like if you don't get every sunrise, you're going to be fine, right? It's okay. So I think the rigidity and the dogma and kind of the when people think, "Oh my God, I have to do it just right." No, you don't. You really don't.
no, it's about consistency, not perfection. Perfectionism is actually just going to drive disease up more. So let's not focus on being perfectionistic. Let's not make it about fear. It's about love. So you want to live in the frequency of love, like Heather mentioned, not the frequency of fear. So we don't want to be fearful that I forgot I didn't get up for sunrise, I slept in. No, I don't want to be fearful that I forgot my blue blockers and I'm out. No, it's okay. It'll be fine. Your body is smart, wise, and will come back to balance and harmony as long as you consistently give it the right inputs, right? So there's no fear that if you don't move to a different, to a tropical location that you can't heal. I think you can heal in literally any environment there is. And I'm a testament of that. And I know Heather is too. I've been healing very well. And I live in New York, okay? And it's not the best environment to heal, honestly. It's not where I would choose to heal. But as a homeopath, and Heather, I'm sure will concur, there are some constitutions that just don't do well in more humid climates or hot climates. And there are some constitutions that thrive better in colder climates. So it really depends on you. And then of course it depends on your haplotype, but I don't think that there's any one way or one way to heal. And I do think it's not just all about light. I'll say it right now. It's not. Like light is important and it's a key foundation to health and healing, but nutrition matters and your relationships matter and how you feel about your relationship with yourself matters immensely. What you're consuming matters. The politics that you're into, the people that are in your lives that you listen to continually. This is all what you consume. So it's about everything that you consume and that affects us at a quantum level. There is nothing that's not quantum to me. Like when people think it's just light that's quantum, I'm like, no, it's way bigger than that. And I hope we're bringing that on our show and you feel that we're bringing that on the show because we try to help you understand that health and quantum healing is not just about light. It's not just about grounding. It's all about so much more. It's about the connections, the community, the love, the support, what you're consuming on the daily regular all impacts you. So,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like what frequencies are you basically living in?
Yeah.
Excuse
Choose your
me.
frequencies wisely. Choose your frequencies wisely, but not just when it comes to light with everything. Go ahead.
Yeah, because the sunlight is a frequency. Yes, it's vital. Yes, we would die without it. And it's one of other frequencies. We have the Earth's resonance, we have love. Love is the frequency I think that we need to really pay the most attention to, because if you're not feeling love for being alive, you're not feeling love for your partner, your kids, your family. Not that you can't have issues. Of course, I'm not saying it has to be, rainbows and unicorns every freaking day. That's not the point. But the point is that you generally are enjoying your life and you are excited to get up in the morning. You're excited to cook wholesome foods that you actually, put energy and effort into, and nourishing yourself. You work on your emotional state, because that is huge. You can be doing all the right things, but if you have unresolved anger, resentment, if you're living in a state of fear, all the things like Vanessa was saying, your body cannot heal itself. It cannot maintain itself adequately, because you're locked up and all of your energy is being siphoned off by being in a state of like bracing against, your reality.
Right.
So, you basically need to be your own guru. You got to be connected to your body. You need to figure out the protocols that work for you. And so that takes time to sort out, right, Vanessa? Like I've been doing this, like I first learned about quantum biology and literally like, I think it was 2011. Yeah. 2000.
That's so cool. That's even
Yeah.
doing this for so long. But like that's a beautiful foundation and so many things that you said, like, yes, be your own guru. You are the protocol. Like you have to make the decisions that work for your body and you have to follow your intuition, right? That's so important. Like and be your own inner compass. Like nobody else knows you better than you. And I think that is such vital information. And the more that you get into quantum practices and get healthier, the more that you will get there, right? But yeah, that's beautifully stated. And really, we have to be our own gurus. Like, don't look to somebody else. Everything that you need to heal is really inside of you. I say that all the time. And I tell it to my clients, it's really important. And sometimes there are these stuck energetic blockages that homeopathy is, I mean, often homeopathy can come in and help remove those. So say if it's this grief or this anger or whatever it is, or this trauma that's there, as much mm, sunlight, grounding, all those things that we say about, they can help a lot. But if you have these like severe traumas or these stuck energetic blockages, or these genetic predispositions that have been turned on through trauma, you're going to need some other support. And that's just the truth of the matter, right? So I know Heather's experienced it. I know I've experienced that. So, and I see all the time my clients, they're doing all of the things, maybe they've even moved to another sunnier climate for a little while, and then they still are not getting where they want to go. And then they come to us for homeopathy, right? And then they get the healing that they need. So, there's
Yep,
no
you have to be able to be committed to your own journey.
Yes, yes, committed to your own journey. I love that. I love that.
Because you
So,
can, like you're saying, you can do all those things, but if you aren't able to really feel at peace within yourself, and also, because I like the attachment field, Vanessa, but have a loving relationship with a safe other, your partner, even a friend.
yeah.
Obviously, a partner is very powerful, and stabilizing. But if you don't have that, if you can't be vulnerable and feel
Mm,
safe with someone else, and let them see all of you, you're really missing out. You're really, really missing out, and you're not going to really be able to trust yourself or anyone else in a
mm,
deep, profound way. And so you need to be able to trust that you're worthy of healing. And our sense of self and how we see ourselves and others is really shaped by our experience growing up in attachment, right?
mm,
In the attachment realm. So I think they're equally as important. In the love, how well you're able to love, I think oftentimes stems from the love you were offered when you were little, right? And how safe you feel stems from your experiences when you were little and how you were cared for. So there's no way around that. There's just no way around that. No amount of sunlight. You can be outside every day, all day by yourself, but if you can't feel safe with someone else, right, you're not going to be able to be fully human that way, as I see it.
Yeah, it's all about the safety. That is such a really good point. I love it. Yeah, it's so valid. And it's like all the experiences that we have are really shaping who we are today, right? So it's like, yeah, sometimes we're going to need some other things to support us on the journey. So I love all that you're bringing to the table.
And
Yeah.
speaking of kindness, right? So one our top podcast for 2024, Vanessa, as you know, was Dr. Alexis Cowan. She's good heart. What a
Mm,
good heart. What a kind person who took the time to be on our podcast, like all of our other guests, right?
yes.
Very busy lady working on lots of cool things. If you haven't seen that episode, it's one of our more recent ones, 75. And she talked all about decentralized medicine, which is the whole point of being empowered and being your own guru. It's like decentralized means that you're the person, right, who you're trusting. You're not like handing over your power to systems, to doctors, to what I'm supposed to do. It's about what do I sense that I need to do. So she spoke to that and more.
Yes, following your intuition, following your gut. 1,000,000%. I love that episode. That was a great episode. Dr. Les Cowan is an amazing human being, and I love the work that she's putting out there into the world and how much she's sharing this information and how she's really getting it a little bit more mainstream and really getting out to a lot of other people and platforms, I should say. We really get so many amazing guests, and we're so thankful for all of them that have come on the podcast because they're sharing it for their time freely. It's a free service that they're sharing with our listeners, and that is something that we both really value and appreciate. So thank you to those who have come and done that for us. So it's really important because we want to give you as much information as we can. So that was a great episode. And then the number 76, was embracing winter and melatonin maxing. That's a really great episode and fun. I'm so glad that that episode is in our top 10 episodes of this season because it's having people understand how to use winter to heal because people always think, oh, summer is the healing time, right? All the sunlight is healing, but all the darkness and the cold and making more melatonin is super, super healing as well. So we don't have to have winter be this season where you gain more weight, you feel more depressed, your autoimmunity flares. Like it doesn't really have to be that way. Because if we embrace winter, and we use melatonin to our advantage, we can actually come out of the season of winter and emerge in spring healthier than we've ever been. So I really am glad to see that episode on the top 10 and people are learning those strategies. Just a reminder, if you want to learn more about that, you could check out my How to Thrive in Winter webinar, which is at a really I think affordable price, and it's a 3-hour webinar, and you could really learn everything you need to know to use winter, excuse me, as a healing season. So yeah, I think it's something to take advantage of if you're interested. But definitely check out that podcast episode to get a little bit of a taste of what that really is about.
Coming in third is episode number 55, Cellular Health with Justine Stenger. Vanessa and I are preparing to take Justine's training on cellular health, and she's going to do a deep dive into a lot of different areas. So we're really, really excited for that, and especially to do it together. It's just so much more fun. But Justine is a powerhouse. Oh my gosh, this woman's knowledge is so extensive, and just the years of training she's had with some luminaries in the field of alternative health, and her ability to break down into very understandable bits every day. It's amazing. Her consistency about cellular functioning and what cells really need to be healthy. And she blends in the quantum with all of the cellular biochemistry, which is just like, wow. And so I can totally see why hers is in our top 10 this year. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that episode with Justine. She's amazing. I'm so excited to learn from her this coming up winter. And I'm so excited to do it with you too, Heather. It's like we keep doing all these fun trainings together. I love it. It's so fun. And yeah, I always love to learn more. And I love the way that she shares her information on Instagram and just beautifully shares the science and also makes it easy to understand, like you said. So like you can really get a practical tip just by watching her information. And yeah, I think she's another beautiful soul. So glad to know her and really glad that she came on the podcast too.
Mhm.
And then number 52, our top number 4 is episode number 52. Can quantum biology make you superhuman with Dr. Sara Pugh? And I mean, another amazing human being, really. Dr. Sara Pugh is Man, she's so smart. I could listen to her. I could listen to all of these women. And I love that these are women. Oh, we didn't, I just this came to my
Yeah.
mind. These women, Dr. Alexis Cowan, me and you. Come on, right? We're in that. Justine, and then Dr. Sara Pugh. These powerhouse women who are just so intelligent, have so much knowledge on quantum biology and health. And yeah, I love that episode with Dr. Sara Pugh, and I love listening to her also. She just is a wealth of knowledge and a really good soul also, just here to help people. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's really funny too. She's
Yeah.
got a really quirky sense of humor. She used to be, or she does hypnotherapy, and I'm like, wow, or hypnotism. I'm
Mm.
not sure. I thought hypnotism was more of a performance, like entertainment, and hypnotherapy was more therapeutic. I think she does hypnotherapy, but she is such an interesting person all the way around, and just the way she presents things, and just the British, humor and dry wit. It's like fantastic.
Very eclectic
Yeah.
background of like of many, many, many things that she's done, like very evolved healing journey of like learning this and then learning that, and like, like Pilates, I think, and like you said, hypnotherapy, but like all these little things have gotten her to where she is today. And then she also did like research on like cholesterol. I would love to have her back to talk about like
Oh
an
yeah.
episode of cholesterol because I listened to one of her I don't know, it was on her YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm always listening to things and it was really great. I was like, oh, I have to have her back on to talk about that. So
We
maybe
should.
some of these will be repeat guests, hopefully this coming year.
Yes. Oh, that would be wonderful. I
Yeah.
feel like we need 2 episodes a week just to do all the things we want to do.
Sounds about right.
It just now, I mean, there's just so much goodness. Coming in at number 5 is episode number 67. What are mitochondria and how to support their health to support your health? That's one that Vanessa and I did, which is just kind of a solid overview of mitochondrial function and the basics of what it is that you can do to support them and recommendations of what to not do to compromise their functioning. So I would say if you're new to this field or the topic of quantum biology, you should probably start there because it's going to be a really user-friendly overview to get you started.
Yes, yes. I'm so glad to see that on the top 10 episodes as well because people are like, what, mitochondria? What is that? Like, so like now they can really get an understanding of what it is and how it supports health. So it's great to see that on the top 10 as well. And then number 78 is the four pillars of health, movement, thought, emotions, and light with Robyn Gaillard. So glad to see that. Robyn is a good friend of mine, an amazing soul to know as well. Another woman that's a powerhouse, and she's lives close by, so we can connect a little bit more frequently. And she offers so many beautiful services to those who are willing to take her up on that opportunity. And she shared a lot of wisdom. So really great to see that in our top 10 also.
And she's so intuitive, Vanessa. I mean,
Yes, that's
I
what
just
makes
want
her
to
so
have like
interesting.
some sort of like inheritance so I can just go to everybody. I just want to have sessions with everybody. But she's definitely one in the top for me. And I'm really excited to be on a radio show she's going to have, or
Yeah.
that she has. It's going to be, I think in February, early February, I'm going to be on her radio show. You've been on her show, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's been released yet, honestly.
Okay.
I have to double check, but did do the recording. So yes,
Okay.
just on her radio show, which is so much fun. And yeah, I agree. Her intuition is solid, solid. I mean, and that's what makes her a great healer because she intuitively knows what you need. So beautiful.
Yeah. And I find that to be just so yummy, so nourishing. And there's something about just her personality, her energy that's just like, please let me just move in with you. Like she's amazing. Um,
No, I spent 2 days with her at her house with a training. Like we did a
oh,
training together for the rhythmic movements that we're using with our clients now, and that was really fun just to hang out with her all day. So we had a beautiful time.
yes, we need to do an episode on that, Vanessa. The primitive movements is
Yes, yes,
powerful.
we have one coming up in 2025.
Okay, 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 good. Vanessa's our master calendar, person. So thank you. Number 82, episode 82 is coming at number 7. Paul Leendertse. He talked about suppressing emotions and how stress and suppressing emotions are the root cause of cancer. Now, this is like a big one for people who like have to rewire their belief system about what is cancer, because it's almost like we walk around thinking like we don't know what the causes of cancer are. Oh my gosh, it's this mystery. Well, I actually disagree. I think there's been many people who've been able to cure cancer, but they haven't been privileged in the medical industrial complex. They're like, no, 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 that's not profitable. You go away. And so here's Paul coming and reminding us that actually emotions and suppressed emotions, so the stuff we try to push down, I can literally see people pushing it down when I've done somatic work with them. That stuff is really bad for you. And then chronic stress, and I think our modern lifestyle, basically, unless you're seeing it and then actively, working to counter it and calm down your nervous system every day, our society promotes that. go, 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 work, 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 no time for family, no time for eating. It's insane. I think it's insanity, honestly. So this man is amazing because he would literally go live with people in their homes, or maybe they would come to him, I forget, but
Maybe they
he's
keep to his home, but either
okay.
way, yeah.
They'd come to his home for a month, and then he would get to the root cause emotionally and the stress level of their whole lives. And then within like several months, their cancer's gone. It's incredible.
This is literally out of all top 10 of these episodes, this is my favorite. I like left that podcast like vibrating. Like this is that's it. Like he gets it. Because people want to say the root cause of your disease is modern living. And I think modern living fuels disease, yes, but I think the suppression is really the root cause of diseases and the suppression of our emotions, and the suppressive medications that we use. Those are, to me, suppression is the root cause of disease. So to me, he's getting to it in a big way. And of course, our modern living and stress is all adding to it. Like, I think those are a really big part of it. So it was literally, it's my favorite episode of this season. It was so good. And I had posted this, I post these on my Instagram and my YouTube, my little clips, and somebody wrote, on no, TikTok it was, on TikTok. Somebody wrote, emotions have nothing to do with cancer. I'm like, oh, that's so sad that you think that. Like, that's how I feel. Like, it's so sad that you think that, because you're never going to be healed then. Like, if you don't realize that emotions and stress are at the root cause of diseases, then you really can't get to where you need to go. And that kind of breaks my heart, because people are just going to keep riding the train, right? They're never going to get off. They're going to be on the roller coaster of disease when they just keep relying on Western medicine, or they keep band-aiding their symptoms with even supplements or juice cleanses or detoxes or all of that, because none of it really works. Like, it doesn't. You need to get to the real root cause, which is genetic predispositions that are turned on from mental emotional stressors, traumas, and likely also like suppression of symptoms due to suppressive medications and suppressing emotions. So that is my favorite episode, because I love what he's bringing to the table and his energy is there. I can just feel, when you just feel somebody's authenticity. I felt it with him. Like, it was
Oh yeah.
so real and it was so spot on. So if I ever had cancer, that's where I would go. There wouldn't even be a question in my mind that that's what I would do. So for me to say that, hopefully, if you know somebody who has cancer, hopefully that inspires you to look towards that direction. And it doesn't mean you have to remove all allopathic things, because sometimes allopathy is necessary in some cases, right? And Paul even said that. But if you're just doing the allopathic model and you're not working on the emotional causes and the trauma, then you're really going to it's just going to keep coming back, which is exactly what he said and what I've seen in clients, where you remove it and guess what? It shows up somewhere else in the body. And you got to get off that train and that cycle.
Well, cutting out a part of your body that's there because it's sending you a message that something's severely out of alignment. You don't get the memo. You ignore the memo, the message, and then it's like back, hello, you didn't get the message. We're trying to tell you what's wrong. And that the other thing is they're stuck in the biochemical model, and you have to look at it as far as frequencies go. And so love and trust are the most powerful frequencies. And that's what he worked. You could just feel his spiritual energy emanating off the screen, and you're just like bathing in it. Right. And so that's what
Can't
he's
wait to have
talking
him
about.
back on, honestly. Like, I want him to come back on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You could just feel that love. And I'm thinking, gee whiz, like that's that if that doesn't penetrate their right, their sort of mindset about it, something will snap them out of it. Because and people know this, I think intuitively, it's just we're so afraid to live in that state of love. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so risky. Like, I can't show up as my authentic self even, or God forbid I slow down and really listen to my heart, because then I'll have to face the music, or I'll have to face it like, oh gosh, I don't really like my relationship, or I don't like my job, or yeah, that's the point. You do have to face things, and that's changes your whole frequency in your body from one of bracing and this like the energy can't flow, your immune system can't even work because you're so like this, to one of opening, surrendering, healthy surrender, right, acceptance. And then you can start to become more aware of what needs to change in your life. And that's what Paul speaks to, and he does it amazingly well.
Yeah, because if you're not living in alignment with what your passion, purpose, wants, and needs are, you're going to get disease also, And it's like, I know he shared, it wasn't on our podcast, it was on a different one that I listened to him from, but it was like somebody who was actually not, they literally hated their job like with a passion. It was very much against their values. And the way that person healed was by quitting that job and working and doing something that he loved. Like that's how incredibly powerful those kinds of things are. Maybe it is a poor relationship that you have that you need to tend to or that you can't be involved in anymore. Maybe it is a dead end job that you hate. I mean, think about how awful that is. I can't imagine going to a job every day that I hate. I've never experienced that, but I personally couldn't do it. And personally, one of the reasons I left teaching was not just because I didn't want to be under those lights and in the Wi-Fi and all that. It wasn't aligned with my values anymore. My core values had changed and what we were doing in the school system just didn't align with me anymore, so I couldn't consciously and go to that job every day because I know that that would just lead me to disease, right? I have to do where my where my energy feels like it's flowing. I have to move towards that, and my energy was flowing towards, oh, I need to help other people heal, I need to share this information, and that's where my passion is. That's risky for people. Like it's risky to leave a very safe job where you make a very good income that has all the medical insurance and all the things. Like that was not an easy thing for me to do. It's a huge risk, and it's had some acceptance and some turmoil that we had to work through as a family. Like it's a huge thing to do. So, but I know that if I would have stayed there, I wouldn't be where I am today in my health.
That's right. Yeah, we don't want to think about where you would be. It certainly wouldn't be as vibrant. And, yes, you have things you're always going to be tending to, like me, but you're a way better
Everybody.
off. Everybody has something they're tending to, but you're way, way better off than you would be if you had stayed there. I mean, really, right?
Hmm, hmm.
So you got to choose your medicine, right? I think challenges are really the point of being alive. That's the growing opportunity. And so if you have health issues, mental, emotional, whatever they are, that's the invitation to take stock in how am I living my life? So,
Yeah, and what can I change and what do I feel called to move towards? Go it's like it's going back into love into your heart, right? And what feels like nourishing to you. So
so
it's so
in the end, it's spiritual. Absolutely. Yeah.
yes, because every disease is spiritually related. So
Hmm.
this is interesting now, going to number 8, which is episode number 51, the benefits of a tan and why you should sunbathe and how to do it safely. I love this episode made the top 10 because I am a big proponent for sunlight as medicine, and I do think it's super healing, right? Just like I mentioned before, or we mention all the time, that the darkness is super healing, sunlight is super healing, and it provides our body with a lot. And teaching people to learn how to utilize the sun in a safe way is a passion of mine for sure, and not to be afraid of the sun, and that it's not, it doesn't cause us cancer. It's really healthy for us. Actually, the more sunlight you get, the least like you're going to die from literally every single chronic disease or have any kind of chronic disease or die from any disease. So it's so important to learn how to use sunlight as medicine. Um, and the reason why I think this is interesting is that the more melanin we have, the more we're able to connect with our like spiritual consciousness and all that. So it elevates us not only on a physical level, but on a mental, emotional level too. So it is, I love that this episode is there, and I definitely check it out. Especially like maybe it'd be good to re-listen like in the springtime, be like, oh, how do I do this again? It's a good time to check that out. And also, if you want to learn more about that, I have my Get Your Light Right ebook, which will teach you how to implement how to use the sun safely as medicine, basically, and how to implement that in the way that will work. So I would definitely check that out as well. Again, that's a very cost-effective, thing that you could get. It's a webinar and ebook, and you'll know how to use the sun as medicine forever. So,
Yes, lifelong, basically lifelong healing.
yeah.
It's free all the time when it's sunny out. You just have to know how to do it right, right?
Yeah, you just have to know how to do it right, right? It's just, I always say, like, if we use the sun the way nature intended us, it's always healing and never harmful. So it's not the sun's fault that we have issues. If we have any issues with the sun, it's our fault. It's our modern living. It's the way we're using the sun. It's our misuse of it. So if you get a sunburn, it's because you're not using the sun correctly or wisely. So you need to refresher on how to use the sun so that doesn't happen.
Yep. Start
Yeah.
now. Start learning now so you're ready to go in the spring.
Honestly, I
Ah,
start building my solar callus or getting outside in the sun in February here usually.
wow, good for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
figure if it's not too cold, I go out even now. We have a two UVB 2 right now, 3, so at least I have something. But when it's 50 degrees, I'm like, huh, maybe I'll just do some red light therapy. I'll get out there as soon as it's not too.
Oh, our UV index is 1 right now, so it's super, super low. But like there'll be like days in February and definitely through March where it'll be like 50 or 60 degrees and it'll be like sunny enough and the UV will get back up. It'll be sunny enough to be out there. So, and it definitely helps, I think. So
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Do we have a tie for number 9? We have 2 episodes that tied. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes, we have a tie for number 9.
Wow. So number 71 is one we did on healing nervous system dysregulation from a circadian perspective. And also at number 9, we have episode 47, Scientific Truth About mRNA Vaccines with Dr. Stephanie Seneff. She's one of the, I think, most courageous women, researchers out there. Come on now. When you're going up against Monsanto, like Ronnie Cummins, who was the director of the Organic Consumers Association, he did a lot of work, countering Monsanto's crap. And so he passed away, but I had so much respect for him. But she also is just one of the legends. So we've had her on twice, you guys. So I recommend you definitely listen to both of those episodes for your own health. And she just is one of the nicest people, I swear to God, that we've had on the podcast. Super smart, so, so, so wonderful. What a big heart. And her book, The Toxic Legacy, is a must read so that you can really understand what it is that, glyphosate is all about, which is in Roundup. That's everywhere. Like they sprayed in the parks around here. I went and asked the guy. He's like, "Oh, we use Roundup and then something else." I'm like, "Okay." And I don't want to be like the psycho, be like, "Oh, Karen," I want to get all crazy on him. But I'm like, "Okay, now I know." But then I have to choose. It's like this beautiful pathway which I wanted to walk on, going into this canyon. It's like I was so like I was in like law. I'm like, "Oh, it's amazing." And then I go by these guys and they're spraying like just a hose. I'm like, "Oh my God."
It's
Yeah.
just so unfair that you have to make that choice, right? Because like you want to be involved in the beauty of nature. That like reminded me of like when I went to Niagara Falls. Like I was so excited to see Niagara Falls, but then I got there and I was like, oh God, it's so commercialized. It's not like it's ruins the beauty of it, right? So it's like unfortunate that we have to choose these things now. But like you should be able to go to your parks and not and like just enjoy them and enjoy the beauty of them, not have to worry about that. Like it's just that's the thing that we have to change that. Like only way that is if we keep talking about these things and bringing them up and make people aware. Like most people aren't even aware about it. Like they don't even think it's a problem. So like we just have to keep sharing that knowledge. And I will concur that Dr. Stephanie Seneff, oh my goodness, what a beautiful soul, so giving
Yeah.
of her time. Who like, and she's busy, like she's a busy person, and I mean, so giving of her time. She's like, yeah, I'll come back anytime. We should have her on again. Like, I mean, so she's just a beautiful soul. She shares the information with us and her knowledge and her research. And, she pours her heart into her research and everything she does. Her book is a beautiful book. Definitely recommend it. But our other episode with her was on deuterium and glyphosate, correct? So this one was on the vaccines. And bringing this forward is so important, like how much the this actually damaged society. Like this is really important information. And the bravery and the courage that she has for standing up to her peers and going against the grain, I find so admirable. And again, another woman, like this is like the woman's podcast here. Like I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. Right. I know.
Paul was on us. That was in our top 10, but that was a great one too. But yeah, like it's like I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us for stepping up and doing that. And I'm proud of us for being a part of that, me and you, Heather. And I love the episode about nervous system dysregulation because, we think we need programs or certain things. You hear so much buzzword about nervous system dysregulation. It's so rampant everywhere. And everybody's like, oh, I need to do, and there are good programs. I'm not saying that they're not good and not to do them because whatever resonates with you for your healing journey, go for it, like 1,000,000%. But like you can also regulate yourself by having quality circadian rhythms and by wearing blue blockers and by, stepping your feet on the earth and gathering up that earth's energy and connecting to those frequencies and getting more natural sunlight throughout the day and doing rhythmic movements, which is something that I've been utilizing a lot lately. Like there are so many ways, and it's really about what resonates with you. But having that circadian biology all on point is going to help you be way more regulated. So I'm glad to see that episode in the top 10 also because people are coming to understand that means, and that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And homeopathy can help as well. And then Dr. Seneff's episode was one of the two, I have two, I think now, the red flags or whatever they call it on YouTube,
Mhm.
where you get in trouble. That's how important her information is they really don't want it out
Yeah,
there.
because they don't
So
want you to know because it's so important.
yeah, so
And
you guys can find that on Rumble. So also Jacob Diaz, he was on our top 10, I think, last year. He did it one on, he's the undercover virologist who did one on terrain theory and all that. So I also got a red flag for him. I got in trouble. And so you'll find all those on my Rumble channel. So we can link that in the show notes. We should
this
put
is
that on the show
why
notes.
it's so important to follow Heather and I, whoever you're following through email lists or through other platforms that are not as censored. I really need to get on that. That should be my goal for 2025. Because YouTube is super censored. TikTok, you should see the things I get censored for on TikTok. It is absurd. It
Really?
is
Oh,
absurd. Yes, TikTok is super censored. That's the one I'm most censored on. Because I can post things on Instagram that I can't post on TikTok, which I think is odd.
hmm.
Um, I violated some sort of community guideline, which for I have no idea what that was. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't like it, just I get over it. But it's just annoying because it's important information that I'm passionate sharing about. So then it's like, oh, okay, that maybe because it's always trying to find a way. Like I kind of feel like I say the same things in many ways because I'm trying to find how can I reach the people? Like how else can I reach? Because this real work does doing it in this carousel post work. Like I just want to share the information and reach it. So it's like, oh man, that maybe could have helped somebody, right? Because that's always the goal. So it's just, yeah, follow us on other platforms. If you're not on our email list, get on our email list. You can get on mine through my website, brightlightwellnesscoach.com, because we can share anything we want on our email list. And thankfully, Apple has been not censoring things. So I'm thankful for that right now. But YouTube is really challenging. So not that you shouldn't follow us there. Mine is Bright Light Wellness. You can check it out. And I share some other videos there, but I have to be, I'm always like, if you see me pausing during the video, it's because I'm trying to be cognizant of how I'm going to say or word something because I don't want it to be censored. So it's tough, you know? So
It's just
anyway,
crazy that we even have to worry about it. So thank God, yeah, Spotify and Apple are when we
yeah,
just
Spotify's been good.
the podcast, not the video, but the podcast, we don't have that problem there. Thank goodness. All right, coming in number 38. Now this is impressive, Vanessa, because right, this woman has been one of the main influences on my right coming into my own sort of professional self, if you will, with quantum biology. And this is, I think, this is 38. I don't even know if that was year two or one. This was from this year two. It's my
It had to be. Hopefully I did it
you're
right.
fine, but it almost seems like it would be older than that. But the thing is, it's no worries. I'm just saying that, wow, that's some pretty good, right? After all, it's been a while that we had carry
It
on. So
must have been like one of the first ones
yeah.
of that season too. Yeah.
But Carrie Bennett, Light, Water, and Beyond. So Carrie, right, so giving as well. And just like
Yeah.
everybody already, if you're in this field, you already know who Carrie is, but she is a powerhouse. And I love that Carrie's also expanding into the ether and
Mhm.
talking more about those kinds of frequencies and tying it all together. And it's not like we've been talking about only about seeing sunrise and only about all those things. It's about your heart and it's about, right, the frequency of love. And so I love that she's embodying all of that and speaking more about that now. And you can't go wrong with anything that Carrie offers you. You can't go wrong if you're learning about quantum biology. Go to Carrie and take her classes. It's a great foundation, and it's also that she has it by donate or not donation, but what do we call
Say
that?
what you think.
Pay what you can.
Mhm.
Yes, pay what you can. So it's accessible to anyone. I
And
mean,
her work is valuable. So it's like so
absolutely, absolutely.
so, I'm sure people pay a little bit, but if you can afford, to give a correct amount for what she's offering, that would be the right thing to do. But I think that's amazing and really admirable that she does that. And man, I love Carrie too. I'd love to have her back on as well because she's such a beautiful soul too. And she has so much good information to share. And she's a wise, wise woman as well. So I love it. So we have a good top 10, like, right? I mean, like these are some really great episodes. So if you're new to the podcast and you haven't heard these ones, like definitely go check these ones out and all the other ones because even the ones that did not make the top 10 are really great.
Vanessa, we have everyone we've had on has been amazing. Like,
Amazing. Amazing.
Timothy Regenerate, Timothy Hammond. I mean,
Wait, wait, stop.
Kelly.
Timothy, amazing. Timothy Hammond, if you don't know him from Regenerate, that was a great, great podcast. And he's so, so intelligent. And if you have Lyme disease, check that out. But even if you just want to be healthy, he's a great person to work with. Who else were you going to say?
Kelly Croft. So Kelly Croft
Oh,
is one of
yeah.
my absolute favorites, and she not only knows the quantum biology frontwards and backwards, but now is really deepening into the spiritual aspects of all the things, emotion, right, and love. And she does talk a lot about trauma, but that's sort of just the overarching theme. But there's so much more that comes from that. And I mean, she's one of my favorites. So, but everybody, you got to check out all of our episodes. You must listen to any of them that speak to you, and so you can get a sense of, because whatever you gravitate to, that's what you're needing. That's the medicine. So use your intuition. We have a lot now. We have almost 100 episodes, so there's a
You know, I
lot.
can't believe we're going to be counting on 100 episodes. It's like insane. We're doing really good. Proud of us. I'm proud of us, Heather.
Thank you. Yes, I am too. I am too.
I love the one with Dr. Stephen Hussey about the pain in the
Oh
brain.
yes,
That was a
yes.
really great one that didn't make the top 10, but still an excellent episode. I'm just looking back at our episodes. That's number 72 if you want to learn about that one. And we broke number 73. We broke down that pain connection ourselves. I mean, Dr. Sophia Adams, number 62, was really a great one. There are so many good ones. Dr. Timothy, well, not Dr., but Timothy Hammond is number 60 in case you want to know about that one. Actually, number 58, The Truth About Our Medical System and Why Alternative Medicine Has Been Suppressed with Jacob Diaz. That's an episode to listen to. There are so many good ones. So, I mean, Why Never Getting Sick is a Bad Sign. Check that one out. Kelly Bento was great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, really, there's not a bad one, I don't think. So go check them all out. And like I said, we really appreciate you guys being here, supporting us, supporting the podcast, because this, honestly, without you guys, this podcast does, it doesn't exist. So, you're a part of our mission if you tune in. You're a part of our community. You're a part of spreading this word, this knowledge. You're a part of the ripple effect on the quantum level, making this knowledge accessible to everybody, making people aware of it, and helping people be healthier. Like you're there. And people may not be ready to share or know this information yet, but you be the light. You model it. You show them how all of these things are supporting you. And then slowly but surely, they'll be asking questions. And they'll be more interested. So yeah, I love doing this podcast with you, Heather. It's such an honor. I love being a part of it, and I'm so excited that we're going to be ending in for season 3. We already have a bunch of episodes recorded for season 3 that are going to come out, and they're great. They're so exciting. I don't want to give any teasers, but so a lot of really good ones, and we have a lot more guests scheduled. And it's like everybody we bring on, and every episode we do, just me and you. I really believe it's bringing so much value to the world. So it's warms my heart to be a part of that.
Yeah, it's such a privilege to do this with you, Vanessa. I'm so grateful for you. So,
Yeah.
you guys, thanks for tuning in, and send us any feedback, any requests, any of you who are interested in sharing your journey on our show, please email us. We will link that in the show notes, and get ready, you guys, for 2025. It's going to be as good or better.
I say, oh, it's always better, but well, maybe not better, but as good. I like that. As good or better. Yes, happy 2025. And again, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And just looking forward to continue supporting you guys and you guys supporting us. So